Good morning, friends, and welcome to the sixth session of Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program. And today's session is also a very powerful one. I often find myself, I catch myself saying this. This is a very important session, and it indeed is. Today, we're going to talk about ego identification, not ego in the sense of an inflated sense of importance, but in the sense of the labels that we put on ourselves and others and the impact it has on our life. Uh, Today, the session may usually spill over, but I am happy to do that because we will do this in workshop style, often pausing to gather our thoughts and note them down. So we will do at least two exercises of 10 minutes each. So please grab your pen and paper if you don't have them handy. Your Mindful Living notebook, please get it. And we would start with a brief recap of how compassionate leadership, about our last session on compassionate leadership. If you have anything that worked out for you, anything that challenged you, either for compassionate leadership or emotional intelligence or time management or vision, creating a success blueprint, or developing a champion's mindset, either last one or anyone, any recap, any success, any challenges. If We will start with a quick recap of that, and then we will get started with our session today. Anybody would like to go first?
Yeah, hi, Ashiji. Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Abhishek.
Uh, yeah, I mean, it was beautiful. I could attend it till 10 o'clock, but then I saw the recording. That is also halfway. I haven't seen it, being busy. But yeah, it's on my radar that I need to complete that. What Brigadier or Colonel, sir, was mentioning. Beautiful, beautiful how the compassion of a colonel in a ship. I really loved that story wherein he mentioned that he wanted to take the complete responsibility of people who are dying in the ship. I think he mentioned mullah or somebody there.
Mhm.
And yes, of course, compassionate leadership really, really makes a lot of difference. And we are emotionally connected to each other then.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it becomes a very mechanical kind of a materialistic world, wherein we are dependent on each other, but then we are very selfish, and we don't see beyond the work. When compassionate leadership comes into picture, we do see beyond the work. We see their personal lives, we see their emotional status, we see their issues, maybe health issues, mental issues, and it makes a lot of difference in creating that bond. If it is an employer employee bond, if it is any other relationship,
Mhm.
which we are managing, so it creates a very different kind of a bond and different kind of an long lasting impact. People don't remember their bosses and jobs and work they do remember their small empathies, sympathies, apathies, antipathies, what you mentioned, and on top of that, compassion, the word compassion, people remember that. It comes like a flashback to them in every time they see such an event. And as Dhruv also very rightly mentioned last time, that it has to transcend down to your teams. If your boss is compassionate, you are compassionate, and then it has to transcend down also to your teams. And if you have a leader below you also, you have to, it's your responsibility to see that he is also transcending it down. I mean, it has to communicate
Yes.
to the whole team. And then world will become a very beautiful place, and company will become a very awesome place to work with. And it was beautiful session. And thank you for bringing in Colonel Saab or Brigadier. I'm not sure what he is.
Brigadier with it.
Brigadier, yeah, yeah. Okay, so I think his points were very, very valid. I really coincide with that. And I always say, Ashiji, that knowledgeable people don't become successful, but action takers do. So this is what I have been learning from your first session itself. You know, we will listen to a lot. We will listen to a lot of people. We will read a lot. Social media is like one hell of a knowledge. But if we don't take action, it doesn't work at all. So if we even take small actions every day, it will have a larger impact. So that is what I'm doing, Ashish
Thank you.
today. And you know,
Amazing.
today I could attend 8:45 a.m. and uh, because I woke up at 6:30, and you know I had some more sessions to attend in the morning. So I'm getting so busy in the sessions nowadays. My family is saying, "How many sessions do you have, buddy?" So so you know, Saturdays 6 o'clock my sessions start till night 10 o'clock, and morning 6:30 in the Sunday till 11 o'clock. So my family is like, yeah,
Yeah.
that doesn't look like a weekend, yeah. This looks like you have
All I
got.
can say, Dr. Abhishek, you are on a growth path, massive growth path. Really amazing. Yeah.
Yes, yes, it's happening beautifully, you know,
Yeah.
Ashish ji, you know,
Thank
really
you.
nicely, you know. I mean, what happens, Ashish ji, is when you are in a community, you know, we are right now in a mindful community, and you know, you meet a lot of people. I met Pratibha Dev. I was
Mhm.
mentioning about her last time to you. She's
Yes.
into, yeah, yeah, excellent. I mean, I'm taking her year-long program also now.
Mhm.
I completed her three days program, 5 days program, and now I'm taking her full-time 1 year program also. And I don't know how to squeeze in time for that also. You know, I'm doing Sanskrit classes. I'm learning Sanskrit as a
Yeah,
language. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
properly. You know, from 10 to 11 every Sunday I do have those sessions. Morning we have I've started some meditation sessions on Sundays at 6:30, very
Yeah.
early, and Saturdays we have sessions, and then we have your session too.
Yeah.
So but I really miss sessions post 10. I have to always go to the recordings, and you know, time doesn't permit. So I have to, you know, in small phases, I've not completed. It's still open in my YouTube.
Yeah.
So,
Sure,
so but
sure.
I'm very curious. I'm very curious
Yeah.
to know what is happening in everybody's life, everybody's experience,
Mm.
and we learn from each other,
Yeah.
100%.
Definitely.
And the community which is created, you know, and you know, one last thing I would love to say, you know, when you are in this positive impact community, you know, you tend to meet a lot of positive people,
Yeah.
and a lot of positive changes come in yourself, and many things get resolved in your life.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes subconsciously also you don't know this is the issue, but then it pops up, and you know, all the answers without even asking questions are you know, answered. And you know, it's a beautiful thing to be in a community. Thank you, Ashish ji, for involving us here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for joining in, Dr. Abhishek.
Thank you.
And whom would you like to call on next?
Manoj.
Mm.
Good morning, Ashish. Good morning, everyone. So, Ashish, obviously, Brigadier Bridur's session was excellent about the compassionate leadership. And actually, I wanted to share the same thing which Abhishek has said. Apart from that, on the previous session, I could say that on the how to handle the situation whenever there's a tough situation, have a pause before reacting to that. That was very powerful. Um, with regard to any breakthrough, very honestly, Ashish, I am yet to get any breakthrough at this moment, but obviously I'm working on towards that. Last week has been quite busy for me. I've been traveling. Um, and Ashish, while I might connect with you separately, I wanted to check with you on the emotional intelligence, how to tackle it when you get down. Well, I do repeat the positive statements on myself uh, whenever such situation happens, but I observe that over the last 1 month, because of certain situations, more or often it is happening, more negative thoughts are coming up, but I have inculcated the habit of immediately whenever that comes up, I replace with certain positive thoughts. But unfortunately it is dominating me. I can sense that. uh, I will connect with you separately on
All
that.
right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure, Manoj. Thanks for sharing that. And surely
Yeah,
we are anyway connecting tomorrow at 11. If
yeah,
time permits, we will discuss this also.
yeah, sure, yeah.
And whom would you like to call next, Manoj?
Rosina?
Morning, morning,
Hi,
everyone.
morning, morning.
Yeah, last time session was really amazing, and I was reflecting on one thing that happened during my when I was working with CSI, and knowingly, unknowingly, because of me, I would sense that somebody was being kicked out, and that has impacted me so much in my career growth that I realized and I tried to get in touch with that person, but still I'm not successful. Inshallah, might be this week or next week. I can like I'll be in touch with that guy.
So, Rosina, even if you're not able to connect with him, you can do Ho'oponopono prayer for him.
Yeah, I've started doing that.
Yeah.
Started
That's
doing
good.
that
Thank you.
because
Thank you.
that was the impact, that the compassion, that how they thought about the person and the family. It was not there, and we were like just we were in that career, like it was just the start of the career, and this has happened. So it has the reflection was there with me.
Thank you.
So
Thank you.
that was there, and certain there are breakthroughs happening. I'm getting some more clients, and those things are happening.
Very nice. Very happy
And
to hear that,
and
Rosina.
the best part is like they are getting the results, and that's what is more success helping me more.
Awesome. Awesome. Very happy to hear that. And it's
Thank you,
reflecting, it's showing on your face. You're looking so
thank
happy.
you, thank you.
Yeah. Whom would you like to call next?
True.
Dhruv. Okay.
So from the last session, you see, not just the last session, I'm looking at in terms of, especially last session, I remember knowledge, skill, and attitude is what Brigadier Sir said. Knowledge is easiest, skill is slightly more difficult to create, and attitude is even more difficult. A lot of practice is needed to change your attitude and form habits out of it. Uh, one and over the last several weeks, what I knowing your own emotions is the first step. Second step is being able to solve those emotions through whatever means. The third is to be able to understand others' emotion. I'm it's just knowledge is there, but I don't have the skill and attitude on that of understanding others' emotion and tailoring your response basis or adjusting your response or the way you are approaching and communicating with that person basis the emotions of the other person. It's not that you want to say, that's not your never your intent. It is you want effect, and therefore you are saying something. So that is something which I'm looking forward to learn. How do I build that sense of judging or capturing emotions of the other person? More of a skill and attitude in my way of working.
Thank you for sharing that, Dhruv. And the first step, as you rightly mentioned, is tuning into our own emotions. And there is a body scan meditation that is there on the Mindful Living YouTube channel. You can use that. And that is what we can do. And once we tune into our emotions, you are very easily able to sense the emotions of other people. It does not require much else to do. At least as far as I am concerned, there's nothing you can do to learn about that. Basically, once you tune into your own, everything else starts reflecting very easily. And then what you need to communicate to whom, and combine it with compassion. Tuning into our emotions, combine it with compassion for others. I think you are on your way. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Ashish.
Yeah. And would you like to call on Anjana?
Yes.
Thank you, Dhruv. I think first I should say, Ashish, you had put in a message saying if you do a presentation, I was really hassled by it. Okay. But I seriously.
Glad for
Okay.
bringing that up. It reminds me to speak about that. Yeah.
So I actually put in something.
Yeah.
It's more pictorial.
Yeah, but that's on 8th of June, not today.
Okay, I didn't see the day.
Yeah. So that's how we are finishing Becoming a Trailblazing Leader program.
Okay.
With a presentation. Presentation need not be a PPT. Basically, everybody talking about how the journey has played out for them. Starting from developing a champion's mindset, taking charge of our life, becoming aham brahmasmi, to creating the vision, to managing time, to manage our priorities, to the emotional intelligence compassionately. How the entire journey has been. If that is enough for 5 minutes, good. If not, you can go back and look at the psychology of success, the LSD program. So basically, it's like almost 6 months now that we are on this journey. 5 months, 5 to 5.5, 6 months. So how that has been for you is what we want to capture in that. That is how we are closing. That's the and what you plan to continue doing. So it's kind of it's a review and action planning for the next 6 months. And so everybody, please do that. Please connect with your accountability partners to do that, and help your accountability partners also. And then we are breaking for a couple of weeks for reasons I'll share later. And then we start our magical success rituals program on 6th of July. So that's when we will start. And maybe we will do that think tank meeting on 6th or some other time before, in between 8th and 6th. So those are some things which we'll ponder and share in the group. We'll keep the group active for that. But 6th, after 8th June, the next session will be on 6th. Our next session will be next Sunday at 8:45 a.m. and that will be on sharpening your X, and then the closing capstone, and then so that is broadly what it is. Anjana, if it is okay, we can take your sharing later because we are running a bit.
Absolutely. You just gave me a breather. And I just want to tell you, for people like me, if you say presentation, we take it seriously. It has to be a PPT. It's not a discussion.
You can use a PPT by all means.
I'm happy not to.
All right.
Okay, yeah.
So, friends, on that happy note, let's get started with understanding ego. And at the cost of repeating myself, it's a very powerful session. So stay tuned, and just give me a minute. There are too many things open. Yeah. So ego, as I mentioned earlier, is the labels that we put on ourselves and others. It's a story that we create about ourselves, and we live this story. So first we create it and then we live it. And this is what we believe we are. So if you would have asked me a couple of years back, who am I would have said I'm a VP at Mars. Maybe today's introduction is I'm 54 years old, founder of Mindful Living, my traits, where do I live, what are my hobbies. This is how we typically, when somebody asks you, who are you, or when we go and meet somebody for the first time, these are the things we typically talk about. And this is the story we are living. And this story, and this is subconscious, and this story 100% determines our behavior. Now look at these different labels that we have, and these are only a few. There could be many more, but look at the name as a label. So I am Ashish, I am Abhishek, Anjana, Manoj, Dhruv, Rosina. This is our identity. The name becomes our identity. Tomorrow, if I change my name, imagine how would I feel? Or if your name has Ambani in it, how would you live your life if your surname is Ambani or Adani or Modi? Okay. So how our name determines our behavior, or if I'm Rizwan, or Javed, so how our name or the name of other people. So if you meet somebody who is John, Johnny, like there was a movie I was seeing, or movie somebody was saying that the in Hindi movies कोई भी अच्छा सक्सेसफुल बिजनेस होगा तो उसका सरनेम सिंघानिया होगा, so this is how typically we have the names and surnames and the identities we create with that. Then the other one is age. I'm an infant, teenager, terrible teen, uh, middle-aged, middle-age crisis, senior citizen. So, and if I'm a senior citizen, then my behavior should match that. If I'm 60 or 80 years old, then I shouldn't be wearing flashy clothes, or have my ears pierced or whatever. So, how my age is determining my behavior or my marital status. If I'm single or I'm widowed or I'm divorcee, how is that? And this is how we are looking at other people also. So when we are looking at somebody, whether he is single, married, divorced, or whatever, and we are making judgments about that person all the time, or the education, IIT, non-IIT, IIM, non-IIM, वगैरह वगैरह, uh, Hindi medium, English medium school, or the IB boards, everything is giving you a status. So, and people flaunt it either knowingly or unknowingly. It'll drop in the conversations, or I went for my alumni meet. We met HBR, all the HB, whatever. So how that is, and this is how we are looking at. He's an HB, Harvard alumni. He's a Wharton alumni, or he's not educated at all. He's a chaiwala, So how we are looking at people. Profession. I am a doctor. Lawyer है तो एक अलग इमेज है, डॉक्टर है तो एक अलग इमेज है, टीचर है तो एक अलग इमेज है, इंश्योरेंस सेल्समैन है तो अलग इमेज है, आईटी है तो अलग इमेज है, हर एक चीज का एक हमारा पिक्चर माइंड में रहता है. Company that I work for, MNC. There was a point of time, I don't know still it is true or not. I work for an MNC. Very proudly, parents will introduce my son works for a multinational company or an Indian company. In Lala company, that's another label that we have. And or the department I work in. I'm an HR guy, or I'm a finance guy, or a sales guy, or the role or position that we have, or the car I drive, Mercedes or BMW, or I'm a BJP guy. I'm a Congress guy. I'm a Hindu, Muslim, Christian, Jew, or the hobbies that I have, or the caste, another big one. Or we always, somebody was sent me, to look out for his son. Everything is okay as long as she's a girl and from a forward caste. So this is how, we're looking at region, North Indian chore hai sare, or socialist or capitalist, so I grew up in a socialist kind of environment, in the sense my father used to work for a PSU, and then I grew up to be a capitalist, and then post 2008 again it's changing. Color, okay. Now, when you think of color, when you think of President Obama, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? Please unmute and speak or type in the chat.
Black.
That is black.
Black, right?
Yeah.
First black president. When you think of Obama, first black. So you see how the identity is being formed? Not a Nobel laureate. When we think of Obama, we are not thinking of a Nobel laureate. We are thinking of first black. And then the discrimination which happens, you nigger, or you Indian, or like Indians, Britishers would say dogs and Indians are not allowed in our hotels. or the physical attributes. I am tall, I am thin, I am fat, or I am beautiful, I am ugly, uh, and sexual orientation. I am straight, gay, bisexual, uh, or gender. Big one. I am a male, I am a female, and then the whole lot of things that go with that. Uh, Men don't cry, females don't smile, and even the most accomplished women feel like second class citizens in India. Okay. So the thing, all the thing about gender, मैं अबला हूँ या मैं शक्ति हूँ, कैसे आप देखते हो? आप अपने को एलएसडी, लक्ष्मी, सरस्वती, दुर्गा देखते हो, या एक अबला अबला नारी के रूप में देखते हो? ये पूरा जेंडर का लेबल है। ऐसे बहुत सारे लेबल्स हैं। ओके, so this is the process of self that we create. I am smart, I am dumb, आई एम डायबिटिक, ऐसे बहुत सारे लेवल्स। फिर आपकी पूरी जिंदगी डायबिटीज के साथ, किसी से भी मिले, क्यों कॉफी में शुगर नहीं, आई एम डायबिटिक, मीठा क्यों नहीं खा रहे, आई एम डायबिटिक, ये क्यों नहीं कर रहे, आई एम डायबिटिक, पूरा जिंदगी उसका वैसे ही चल रहा है। एंड दी थिंग विद आइडेंटिफिकेशन इज दैट वो ही हो जाते हैं। We become one with that identity. I am a capitalist, I am a husband, I am a wife, I am a son, I am a CEO, and all the behavior. If I am a CEO, I'll not have fun. I should be serious. I should dress a particular way. I should walk a particular way. I should hang out with a particular way. I should be senior. I should be seen having a tea on tapri. I should, all your behavior becomes according to that. And I'm just saying some of these things, I'm sure you're getting the drift. And I become one with the identity, so much so that if that identity is attacked, it is a threat, it is an existential threat. Okay. So if I look at myself as an Indian, and you say something about India, I'm not hearing you. I'm being attacked. How can you say about, or you say about my school, or you say about my town that I come from, the small town that I come from, or the school that I studied in, government school that I studied in, or for my family? Look at it from the view of husband, wife, and the in-laws. How could you say that about my family? अरे वो सही बोल रहे गलत बोल रहे इज नॉट द इशू। आपने मेरी फैमिली के बारे में, आपने मेरे भाई के बारे में ऐसा क्या बोला, आपने मेरे मम्मी के बारे में ऐसा बोला क्या, वो इशू नहीं। मेरी मम्मी के बारे में या मेरे पापा के बारे में ऐसा, या मेरे डिपार्टमेंट के लिए ऐसा, क्या सेल्स वाले एचआर वाले को ऐसा कैसे बोल दिए, एकदम हॉकी स्टिक वगैरह लेके सब आ जाएंगे ना, पूरा लड़ाई, एक गली दूसरा गली, लड़ाई, बैट बल्ला सब लेके लड़ाई करने आ जाता है। So that identity, any attack, or if I'm a capitalist, somebody is talking about socialism, I'll take it as an attack. How could he say that? Things like that. So this identification creates a divide between us and everybody else. Okay. So if like army people, I respect army people, but they will talk about everybody else as civilians. You civilians, or Britishers will talk about you Indians, or you dogs, or human beings and animals, everybody else. My family, your family, my department, your department. There is a sense of separation. This label creates a sense of separation between us and other people, and this sense of separation is what divides all our thinking and all our behavior. Okay. And this is creation of our mind. It's highly personal and they can change. If I recognize myself as a small town boy, now then I lived in Bombay and Delhi and then now in Pune. So that identity is changing. Or if I recognize myself as a VP in March, today I am founder of my own company, that identity has changed. Or if when I lost my father, my mom lost her identity as a married woman. So or if I lose a job, if I'm working for X company, like somebody I know who's a very cushy job in American Express at a very senior level for 15 years, so completely identified as an MX guy, good lifestyle, then you lose the job, and the guy drank himself silly. So these change in identity, it's like snatching something away. आपका पूरा कुछ खींच लिया आपसे आपकी. When that change happens, we are not able to accept that change. Identity ही चली गई और इतनी कोर होती है वो identity कि हम उसको डील नहीं कर पाते हैं. And that then creates a lot of challenges. But the point that we are talking about today is how can we consciously make that identity which is made by the school, parents, media. So media is telling some people like this are good. Like when Vijay Mallya was there, all the lifestyle that he had would be talked about. So the media gives us idea of what is good, what is bad, or teachers would do or parents will do. You have seen this movie about Edison, right? Or have you not? If even one person has not seen, then I'd like to play this.
I haven't seen.
You haven't seen, okay? So I'll play this movie and look at how this is playing out. I'll just give you a context of what is happening. Even those who have seen it, it's worth watching 100 times. The boy in the movie is Edison. And one day he has come from a school with a letter which is sealed, given by the teacher to the mother. And then you can follow the movie and then we can have a small discussion about that in the context of what we are discussing today. It's about 3 minutes.
Oh, why are you not in school? Your son is a genius. This school is too small for him and doesn't have enough teachers for training him. Please teach him yourself. I'm gonna have your read to meet. Remember where we left off? I think we were here. So start from there.
Medicine. Son is adult. He is mentally slow and unable to think clearly. We won't let him come to school anymore. His early headmaster trying to swell.
So what do you see here? What happened?
Basically, what happened is the letter was actually a complaint, but a mother, after reading that complaint, she converted it into an opportunity, encouragement, um, motivation, and that had a long-lasting impact on Edison's mind, because he was very much scared and afraid to give that letter to the mother. But mother, changed the whole story upside down. And that's awesome. Beautiful. Must watch.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Dr. Dhruv.
For a small
Yeah.
boy,
Dr. Abhishek.
he
Hmm.
yeah, for a
Yeah.
small boy, he got an authoritative imprint that school have declared him a genius, and he continued to be there, follow that.
Yeah.
They have authorized him.
Dhruv. Uh,
Yeah, these things have a lot of impact. Uh, I remember seeing a movie about Nazi concentration camp, and how one child or parent actually makes it like a fun, saying, "Okay,
Life is beautiful.
hide." Yeah, life is beautiful. I didn't remember that. So yeah, that's the one, which basically says there is reality. How you perceive reality
Yes.
can actually change the destination itself.
Right. So Upanishads say yatha drishti tatha srishti, right?
Hmm.
Now, in the context of our discussion today, what was the label that the teacher put on Thomas Edison? Type in the chat or unmute. What was the label that teacher put
He is
on?
a
He
slow learner.
he's a slow learner. He's addled. He's confused. He can't think clearly. Imagine somebody saying for Edison that he can't think clearly, right? And what did mother what was the label mother gave Edison?
He was a genius, and the
He's a
school
genius, right?
don't have much to teach.
Correct. Now, one question or one pushback I often get is, Ashish, you don't know what my reality is, Uh, uh, Now, in this case, I ask you, what was the reality of Edison? Was he addled or was he a genius?
At that stage, obviously, he was a slow learner. If I remember, he was stammering also during his early ages.
Okay,
That was the reality at that age.
that was it. And what was the label mother did? What was the He's a genius, right?
Yeah.
And that labeling or relabeling completely transformed his life, right? A slow learner who is adult, confused, not able to think clearly, becomes a genius because his mother, and like Manoj very beautifully said, his mother reinforced or imprinted in his mind the authority of school, that the school is saying you are a genius, right? Forget the authority. Now it is time for us. And we don't need to go to our mothers to tell us that we are genius. But what are the labels that we have for ourselves? So please take 10 minutes and write down all the labels that we have for ourselves, both in positive and not so positive terms. So maybe you can divide your page in half or take two pages. One side, you can write, I am, I am a genius, or I am confused, or I am smart, I am creative. And other side, write, I am not. Okay. Don't let anything come in between. This put your phones on aeroplane mode and just keep writing. Don't stop. And keep putting numbers because I want to see how many statements you have come up with. I am a genius. And those statements could also be an identity you want for yourself. Need not only be what you believe, but what you want for yourself. So I'm a global authority on AI. Okay. Or I'm CHRO. Okay. Or I am a genius. I am creative. I am financially free. I am athletic. I am healthy. I am flexible. I am handsome. I am beautiful. Either it reflects your current reality or it reflects what you want in your life, the identity you want for yourself. And also, as you're doing this, if something that comes up for you, I am not good at maths, I am not handsome. I am not tall. I am this. I am. So both I am and I am not. You can do it parallelly, or you can first focus on first 5 minutes on I am and the next 5 minutes on I am not. I leave that to you. What works best for you? I went once met Lakshmi Narayan Tripathi. She is she's a transgender. So I'm not a male, I'm not a female. If you meet people in Bombay, I live in South Bombay, so I'm a South Mumbaiker, or I am a Mumbaiker. You know, when I
Ashish,
used to live in Bombay, if you live in Borivali, you are like, वो धारावी से भी बेकार है. So your where you live determines your identity. What is the identity you want for yourself?
Ashish, when we
Yes.
talk about positive things, when I say I am very healthy, okay, and you carry certain uh, challenges, problems in your life, like I'm diabetic. So, are you saying that in the negative statement, what should we give it?
So negatives, don't process it right now. If you want to put I am healthy and I am diabetic is also coming up, for now, write it, Manoj. And we'll process it when we finish this process of writing.
Okay.
Yeah. I am a topper. I am a struggler. I am a businessman. I am a father. I am a mother. A husband, wife, son, brother. I am a warrior. I am successful. I am a failure. You don't have to share this with anybody, so be brutally honest with yourself. And equally important is what comes up for you, or even more important is what comes up for you in I am not. Those limiting beliefs are the ones which are possibly playing havoc in your life. I am not articulate. I am not smart enough. I am not politically savvy. I am not tech savvy. I am not good at digital marketing. I am not good at promoting myself. I am not emotionally intelligent. What is it that is coming up for you when I am not? I am तो फिर भी ठीक है. I am not आपकी जिंदगी चला रहा है. Sasha, please write I am statements. I am healthy, I am wealthy, and I am not. I am courageous. I am bold. I am timid. Maybe someone said something to you. Maybe somebody did something to you. Maybe parents. I am not good at drawing. I am wealthy. I am poor. Another 2 minutes to go. Keep writing. I am and I am not. I am good at networking. I am an introvert. I am an extrovert. I am a learner. I am an action taker. I am thinker. I am a planner. I am strategic. I am no good. I am Brahma. I am the best creation of God. I am useless. I am a spendthrift. I am a miser. I am a victim. I am a victor. I am good at managing my time. Whenever you're ready.
So some of these I am could be negative.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
And I am not could also be positive. I am not corrupt.
And ironically, sometimes Ashish, the same sentence in one parlance means negative, and for, let's say, when I tag that to personal life, okay, it could be positive. When I tag it to professional life, it's actually a negative label.
Contextual. It is contextual.
Context.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You need more time or you're good? Whenever you're done, you can type done in the chat. Thank you, Dr. Abhishek. Thank you, Manoj. And while we're waiting for others to finish, if there's any new insight that came up for you, please type that in the chat. Dr. Abhishek, Manoj. Okay, Anjana, thank you. We'll wait for one or two more. Please type any new, if any limiting identity that came up for you, or any new empowering identity that came up for you. Or maybe you can just unmute and speak. How was this exercise for you and what?
So I for the last few days I was just thinking that I am not impromptu good in answering sometimes, and I was like, what's happening? When I was writing this, I am not good at impromptu response. Then I realized it is only when it is a sensitive or difficult conversation, not always.
Yeah.
So at that time, I become very emotional,
Mm.
stopping my thinking.
Very nice. So that's a very powerful thing you said, Dhruv. The nuances, usually
Mm.
the limiting statements we just paint with a white brush that I am not prompt or I'm not impromptu in speaking, but there are nuances in which conditions is that playing out. And once you
Mm.
identify that, then you can act accordingly. And there is a very simple but very powerful statement that Louis Hay makes, that it's only a thought and thought can be changed. And so all these limiting ones, we can replace them with empowering ones. So if I am not courageous, I say I'm courageous, or we identify. This is another thing we did in the psychology of success, identifying evidence for that. Uh, Especially for the limiting ones. Where did this originate? We have done this work in the psychology of success. Where did this limiting belief originate? What is the evidence? And replace that. Ask, is there any evidence to the contrary? Then you will find evidence for the contrary also. Like Anjana shared about her riding, learning to drive. Her brother told her that, you're not good, but there is evidence that she is good. So replacing, finding evidence for both, and replacing limiting belief with an empowering one by making a positive affirmation for that, and reinforcing with evidence. That's how we train our mind to and create an identity consciously, which is what Edison's mother also did. Uh, she reframed the limiting belief, which had evidence. It's not that that didn't have evidence, it had evidence, and reframed that and provided new evidence for that, right? So this is the process we want to do for ourselves and create our identity consciously. I would like to hear from each one of you. Anything that you would like to share in brief about what came up for you in limiting and empowering. I can and I cannot. And if you have, like Manoj was mentioning here, Manoj, what you, maybe this is the time for you to ask your clarification.
Yeah, I got that clarity, Ashish. So I can say that for a lot of things, I said I'm not an action taker. I'm not consistent. Maybe I start with exercise for a week or so, then I discontinue.
Yeah,
Uh, so these I understand now. I have to rephrase it. I have to change those thoughts and start taking actions
yeah. So
regularly.
if you're saying I'm not an action taker, identify
Mm.
three beliefs that you have for that. Because some belief, either somebody told you or something happened where you when you didn't act. Now replace that with I am an action taker, and put three, four, five belief, evidences when you took action, right? There have been many instances when you have taken action, Manoj. So put that down. So then mind starts, it's not an empty affirmation that I'm an action taker. एविडेंस के साथ है तो माइंड कन्विंस होता है आसानी से. तो उस तरह से करिए आप. तो what was the other one you said? I'm not.
Consistent.
I'm not consistent. So, what is the evidence when you were not consistent? What are the things you did consistently well? Okay. And when you're thinking of, I'm consistently well because I did X this, I'm consistently this because I did this, I'm consistent with evidence, because with evidence you put that. So, when you're writing your affirmations 369, you do with evidence, I am consistent because, or as whatever you want to say, the initially rewiring के लिए वो help करेगा.
Okay, thanks. Very powerful. So, like, give me a small example. Like, I want to start reading books. So every day I start one page. and 2 page, and maybe just after a couple of days I discontinue. So I'm not able to complete. So I will
Yeah,
start with this
yeah,
immediately.
yeah, yeah. Do even if one line. So there is a very powerful 2-minute rule that when you are building a habit, rather than give a gap, do it for at least 2 minutes every day. So
Okay.
if you're reading, want to develop a habit of reading, and you want to read for 15-20 minutes or an hour, but आप वो नहीं कर पा रहे हो, तो कम से कम 2 मिनट के लिए करो, उसको ड्रॉप मत करो किसी दिन भी.
Okay.
That's very powerful. Even if you're able to read for 2 minutes, then the mind gets the signal this is important, and it's not, because once you drop any habit, then it takes days and weeks for you to come back to that. But 2-minute rule ensures that the consistency is there.
Okay.
So whatever you want to do it for at least 2 minutes.
Sure.
If somebody is struggling with exercise, put on your exercise shoes, do spot jogging for 2 minutes, or read for 2 minutes, one line, one couple of one paragraph, whatever. Right?
Thanks, Ashish. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Manoj, whom would you like to call next for sharing?
Dhruv.
So so Manoj, what you saying about emotions, feeling low? I do it. I do have the same situation. I did a couple of things. I've been very conscious about it, and being aware of it is the first good step. The second thing is what I found working quite well is Naam Japa. Chanting, do that. The easiest and the most fastest is Ram Ram. So that really helps. And what I hear is in our chakras, seven chakras, Ram, you would have heard just another topic is Ram se bada Ram ka naam, because that Ram meditation actually increases your energy and frequency. Try that. And so one thing which I have observed, just realized when I was typing is I start thinking the negative aspects of any change first rather than the positive aspects. So that is something which I will consciously change, because when you start thinking negative, more likely the negatives would happen. Even this AI aspect which I talked about, Ashish, if you realize, the first thing which comes to my mind is, oh, there's the risk. Yes, there is risk. There are challenges. It's a non-continuous change which is coming in the system. But there are positives also. So if I start focusing on positives, I will encash the positive parts of it. So in terms of reframing the limiting belief, I will consciously do, because something which I realized my manager has been saying, "Oh, Dhruv, you cannot manage people. Oh, this is too technical." And just to prove him wrong, I have been doing all the other stuff, including AI. And somebody who doesn't want to listen to it has kept his eyes closed. I would not spend my energies on convincing him. I would rather build my own positive world around my strong beliefs and what I know I can do it. So that's something which I will do. The 2-minute rule is something I do. Ashish, is 369. I didn't understand that. Three, I remember three points which counter it, but 6 and 9, I don't remember.
So maybe I'll ask Manoj to share that. Manoj
I
is master.
remember. No, I remember. I told you, and I think I am not recollecting right now.
Okay.
Yeah, Ashish, you please
Okay.
continue. Yeah.
So, Dhruv, you would for sure know Nikola Tesla. Okay. So Nikola Tesla has this thing about 369. And apparently these are the numbers, these are universal numbers. So when it comes to affirmations also, when you want to affirm something, do it try 3 times, 6 times, and 9 times. that is considered magical because it impacts the universe, and it helps in manifesting very, very quickly. Now, there are
Mhm.
different versions on how you can do it. Some people say, if you want to say, I'm a good people manager, say that 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and 9 times at night. So, but basically reaffirm your affirmations 3, 6, and 9 times in a day. And
Okay.
that leads to very fast manifestation.
And it's better if you write it down.
Better if you write it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ashish.
Hmm. Thank you. Thank you.
I'll nominate Abhishek.
Abhishek, yeah.
Uh, well, thank you, Dhruv. The list of I am is quite long. The list of I am not is short, and I have already actually worked on it, and I've identified what I'm not doing, and I think I've mentioned the same things here, and nothing new came during this practice which we did. Right, nothing new came because I already have given it a thought. I have already even noted it down that these are the things I need to work on. And but I am is like a whole long list. Generally, I am like a person. I believe that we should always utter positive words. And words are very powerful. And I take time to actually write. I am not as a habit of not saying it, not stopping myself to think what I'm not able to do. Because when we are saying we are not, the universe responds with we are not. But yes, I understand the practice here is right now to identify that what needs improvement. So I think, smallest things, if I can mention quickly, because I have to leave for another session. Um, you know, I'm blessed soul. I am not this body, I am this soul. I'm ready to take responsibilities. I'm an action taker. I'm fortunate to have beautiful mentors in my life, like Ashish ji. I'm I'm having a beautiful family, living a beautiful life peacefully. Uh, I'm going to create a peaceful life for myself and people around me. I'm trying to become a balanced individual. So I am successful. So this is I am. So let's not focus on that, because we should focus on what we are not and improve there. So if I say I'm not, so I'm not working on waking up early. This habit is something which I want to actually inculcate in me. But I'm working on it. Basically, I'm working on it, and it's a work in progress. Uh, I'm not 100% working to get my dream job.
Yeah, just pause you there. So I'm an early riser. You can
Yeah,
replace that with I'm an early riser, and then automatically your brain will start working in that direction.
correct,
Yeah.
correct. Rather, I think these are the five aspects where I feel I am little procrastinating, or I am little lazy there in doing things. For example, waking up early. But I have improved from past a month or so. Um, Thank you for the input. I'm not working, you know, enough to get my dream job. So I have a dream job in my mind. No, I'm happy with my present one, but I have a dream job in my mind. So I'm not really working hard to get there. So maybe I'm a little lazy and procrastinating. So that's what I feel. And I have a hobby of being a vocalist. So I love music, and I love singing. I do sing also, but I'm not working too much towards it to take it to the other level of satisfaction stage.
Yeah.
So I need to work on that. And last but not the least, not doing enough social work for my inner satisfaction. That is also something which I feel. So I don't mind sharing all this. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you for sharing that, Dr. Abhishek. And so one of the most successful coaches I know has 50 such I am statements, which he has recorded to a music, and he listens to that often. So that's a very powerful practice. And if you give us your 50 I am statements, which could include reframing some of the challenges that you have, like I am working in my dream job, or I have my dream job, or anything else. I take actions, or my I'm always attracting lucrative opportunities for me. Whatever, we can set that for it to a musical tune and share it with you, which you can listen to while going to sleep, early in the morning, whenever you're driving or whatever. There is a small fees for that, but we can do it for you for sure. So just
Beautiful,
wanted to share that. Yeah.
beautiful, beautiful. I'll get back to you on one-to-one on
Yeah.
that.
Sure. Sure.
Thank you
Thank
so much, everybody, for your time. I'll take your leave.
thank you. Thank you. And he's left. Dr. Abhishek, whom would you like to call next before leaving? Just do that.
Anjana.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah.
And have a good Sunday.
Thanks. Same to you guys.
Uh, so it's very ironical, like my friends here have said there are things that contradict each other. But I think, like you said, a lot of these aspects of the identification that you put is an association with something. And sometimes you don't even remember what that incidence was. It was just that feeling that drove you to, like, it could be, there are times that it challenges you. So it's like working counter. If somebody says, hey, you're not good, you want to prove that you're good. Like, it depends on what your mind frame was at that time, and that feeling that converts it into making it a label. And somewhere, if you fear it and you want to shy away from it, or you want to avoid that feeling, right? Then it becomes a negative aspect of the label. Because if you, and it's more, I think, understanding the psychology. And a lot of times, a lot of these labels come very young in age. Also, it could come much later. But if your awareness is low, you will end up having a lot of labels.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you're just thinking of how it impacts you, right? You're not, I mean, sometimes it's beyond us to think in the person who's delivering it their shoes. And their view of doing it could be because of what it makes them feel to deliver that to you. It has sometimes nothing to do with you.
Very true.
But I mean, this learning, this awareness comes with age, with guidance, with a lot of work.
Yeah.
And by then, like you could say, we're already half dented pieces.
Yeah, that is why it is so important, Anjana. We don't know why people said, why this, what was their intention behind it. But it's important. That is why this exercise becomes all the more important, that we consciously choose how we would like to be, and then live our life consciously as per that. And what I would also request is everybody to share, if they are comfortable, what came up for them in terms of I am and I am not in the group, so that others can also, it gives triggers some thoughts for others also. So whatever you're comfortable, please share in the chat in the group, in the WhatsApp group. Anjana, whom would you like to call next?
Shesha?
Sasha, are you aware of what we are doing, and could you get some statements for yourself?
Yeah, Sisti. Yes, there were some rituals that were going on, so there was some chanting, so I couldn't
Okay.
talk. Now I'm able to.
So have you got some statements to share, Sasha?
Uh, yes, a few of
Okay.
them I have. Okay, so this is re-imbibing the negative thoughts into a positive ones. Right?
This is identifying what
Yes.
am I, which is I am
Correct. Yeah.
brilliant. I am the best microprocessor designer in India.
Hmm.
I am not XYZ. I am
Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
ABC. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm a benevolent father. I'm a happy goer. I am one of the best designers, hardware designers, I would say. Okay. And I support my family when needed. And I am spiritual. I'm, I am empathetic to my team members. So these were the few that I had.
Anything came up for you for I am not, Sasha?
Yes. So I don't manage time properly, and I am not spending time with my children.
All right.
I'm not a great son or a great father.
Mhm. Okay. I hear you, Sasha. And what we discussed, I don't look for evidence for both, you know. So if you're saying I'm not a good son, what is the evidence for that? And then reframe that statement that I am a good son, and then look for evidence for that, and then reframe the reality because I understand you may want to be a good son, right?
Yes, yes, yeah.
So then reaffirm to yourself, I am a good son because XYZ, I am a good son as A, B, C, and so
Hmm.
on and so forth. Similarly, I am a good father because this. Okay. And write or chant to yourself, whatever. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you for sharing. Sasha, whom would you like to call next? And before that, did this bring up any new realization for you, Sasha?
Um, I think I've done it in the past. Yeah, there are some realization, but I'm not able to implement that. That's the problem that I am having.
Okay. All right. That we can discuss, Sasha, huh?
Sure. Yeah.
All right. And whom would you like
Rosina.
to? Rosen.
Thank you, Shasha. I am list is a long one, very long. Like it's like almost the pages were filled up. And the things which I could highlight from that is I stand up for myself. I'm compassionate. I'm the best creation of God. I'm a sensible spender. And then I'm a face reader. I'm an analyst. I'm a tarot reader. I'm a graphotherapist. And I've written many other things in that. And I'm not there are two to three things which I need to highlight. It's like I'm not good at promoting myself. That's what I've written. I'm not good at pitching. I'm not good at closing deals, and I'm not other people's puppet,
Yeah.
and I'm not controllable. That's what I have added to it.
And now you understand, Rosina, how you can reframe your limiting ones to
Yes,
empowering ones.
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely,
So
absolutely.
please continue with that process.
Yeah.
And now, if it is okay with everyone, let's move on. Please type MO in the chat if we are good to move on.
Ashish, I just want to
Yes.
highlight one thing in this, the 369 method, which has been you shared.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It
Yes.
has a very deeper understanding and deeper uh, process to it
Correct.
because
Correct. Yeah. Please feel free to share, Rosina.
yeah, because it's like it depends how you resonate with it, 369. So it's not compulsory that you have to write three times a day, three in the morning, six in the afternoon, or nine. It could be the other way also. It's like you can write three affirmations 6 times a day, that way. So you have to work it out. There are various variations, and I had heard a video on that, and it is like three is the number of vibration, six is the number of frequency, and sorry, it's energy, frequency, and vibration. So that's the way we have to. It's like, so you should feel energized. So it's like three times when you're writing, that's the energy that you're putting into it. Six is you're connecting to the frequency. So it's a six number is a bridge between the three and between you and the divine, the nine. So it depends that if you are doing it, if it's giving you results, then go ahead with the same method. Otherwise, look for a other alternatives in 369 methods. There are various methods and various way people are doing it. So that's what I just wanted to share.
Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you
much,
so
Rosina,
much.
for sharing that. So
Rosina,
please,
is there a
yeah.
video you can share on it,
I'll
Rosina?
look for it and I'll share it. I'll do that.
Okay, okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Dhruv,
Back to you,
otherwise you
Ashish.
can also look for in YouTube 369 Nikola Tesla and you will find many videos. And please share in the group whoever has any resources, Manoj, Dhruv, Rosina on 369 and practice that and share that. And I've also shared in the group one video on the Ram Nam Mahima. Those who are interested can look at that. Okay. Now, I'm just putting this up for any ideas for you to look at. And if any of these I am not resonates with you, please identify because this is something that sucks away our energy. And that is why it's important for us to identify and then replace that with a positive I am. So if you have looked at, you can take a screenshot or you can watch it later in the recording. The next one is, I'm just going to pause for a couple of seconds for you to read it, have a look at it. I'm not lucky like others. I'm not productive. I'm not confident. I'm not a fast learner. I'm not innovative. Yes, Rosina?
Yeah, can you just share the previous one also, please? The
Which
first
one?
one.
You can either take screenshot of this, or if there is anything that resonates for you, you can call out.
One second, I'll just take a screenshot. Yeah.
I'm not lovable. This is also a issue with people. I'm not meant to be. I don't deserve to be happy. I'm not creative. I'm not confident. I'm not good at this. I'm not a deep thinker. I'm not innovative. I'm not articulate. I'm not persuasive. I'm not respected. I'm not strong enough. Pay attention to this. Identify something that may be holding you back and then reframe and work on them. All right, are we good to go? Please type GTG if we are good to go. Now, moving on, a lot of these judgments and labels that we have about us and other people is due to the social conditioning that I spoke about earlier. And how do we compare ourselves with the others? You know, am I rich enough? Am I tall enough? Am I fair enough? Am I good enough? You know, so these are, we constantly keep comparing ourselves with other people. But imagine if we are the only person on this planet Earth, we are the absolutely only person. Would it really matter how tall you are, or how intelligent you are, how fair you are, or, you know, whatever? how intelligent, good, fast. You are the only person on planet Earth. Just take 2 minutes and reflect on whatever that came up for you in I am. Yes, thank you for sharing that. Uh, what came up for you in I am or I am not? If you were the only person on planet Earth, would that matter? I'm not good at maths. Does that matter? Whom are you? Who says you are not good at maths? Compared to whom? I'm not fast enough. Compared to whom? I'm not rich enough. Compared to whom? I'm not successful enough. Compared to whom? I'm not a fast learner. Compared to whom? So if you are the only person on this planet Earth, how does it sound to you? Would you still be limited by those limiting beliefs that you have about yourself?
No.
Or certainly they don't matter? Yes, Manoj, anything you want to share?
Yeah, it will not matter.
It doesn't matter, right? So does
Yeah.
that change anything for you? Why are we constantly living our life comparing ourselves to others? Right? Can we drop some judgments of ourselves? And is that dropping of judgment liberating for you? No? Or can we choose to? I'm not saying don't compare yourself. At times, there may be a purpose to it. I have written about it in my book also, Beyond Limits. Rather than comparing ourselves, a better way to do it is benchmark yourself. That, this person has got this person has this quality, this is how I would like to be. You benchmark rather than compare. Compare is a low energy thing, and it'll drag you down, it'll suck you down. But when you're benchmarking, it's proactive, you're moving forward, right? So first think of, if you are the only person on the earth, which are some of those limiting judgments, limiting beliefs about yourselves you would like to drop? And how does that feel for you? Does it feel liberating? Does it feel empowering to let go of those limiting beliefs? And thirdly, if you do need to compare yourself, rather than compare, benchmark and then work proactively towards that. I'll pause here to see if you have any questions or comments before we move on. Right. This we've discussed earlier. This also we have spoken about. Then the other challenge that comes is, fear of loss. So if I am very successful, that may trap me in trying out new things. And there's a beautiful quotation of Elon Musk I came across recently, wherein he says it's okay to fail here. Must have put it up in his own organization. And imagine, you being free to fail. Who tells you that you are free to fail? Because every time we fail, we are ridiculed. But he says you are free to fail. So if you're not, if you are successful and you want to protect your success, then you may not want to experiment enough, which may be sowing the seeds for future failure. But Elon Musk says you are free to fail. So keep experimenting. The more you fail, the better chances of you being to succeed. So think of how the label of being successful can actually be limiting your future success. Or you want to control the outcome, rather than focus on the process. Or you may want more. If the identity is I'm a millionaire, you may want more and more millions, and you want to keep working at that, and eventually burn yourself out. Uh, or be jealous or be defensive. If my ego is the particular role that I'm a VP or SVP, and then somebody junior is coming and giving me feedback, I may not take it. Or if my boss is giving me feedback, I may not take it. Or my spouse, maybe I may not take. How can he or she say this to me? So because of the label we have, we may not be open to feedback. We may not be open to, or similarly for resistance, So we discussed this earlier that we are very resistant. A better way. So what do we do? So a better way to do it is live from an inside out focus. आप ये फिगर आउट कर लो आपको जिंदगी में चाहिए क्या और क्यों चाहिए। फिर आपको ये क्लैरिटी एक बार आ जाता है तो इतना मैटर नहीं करेगा कि दूसरे लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम्स वी आर लीडिंग अवर लाइफ आउटसाइड इन बिकॉज वी डोंट नो व्हाट वी ट्रूली वांट। वी हैव नो क्लू ऑफ व्हाट वी वांट। We just are attracted by his car, his house, his wife, his husband, his girlfriend. We don't know what we are looking at. So we are leading our life, looking at other people, their, an outside in perspective. But if we want what I want, if I'm clear about what I want, then I can lead my life from an inside out perspective. Then I'm not comparing, but I'm going for what I want in life. And I'm grateful to Manoj for teaching me how to set goals and move in the direction of my goals. Before that, I was pretty much like comparing myself with everybody else. But from the time I learned goal setting from Manoj, I have been leading my life in accordance to the goals and not comparing myself with other people. I am only comparing myself in terms of the goals I am setting and whether I'm achieving them or not. So I know what success means to me. This is my own parameter of success. So typically, what we do is, we look at the car, the job title, how people look, and we all put, I'm fair, I'm handsome, I'm CEO, I'm owner of a Mercedes or BMW or whatever, and then we live our life accordingly. But the better way to do it is disassociate with that identity, disassociate with that label. That provides us with the I am fair, I may become dark, or I am fat, I may become thin, or I am VP and I may lose my job, or I am married and I may have a divorce or widow, whatever. I may have a car today, I don't have a car, my car got stolen. So then I'm not impacted because I realize that it is not me. My identity is not that thing, but my identity is independent of that, right? So we will stop here to see if you have any quick questions or comments before we move on. Anjana, would you like to check with Dhruv? He seems to have dropped out.
I'll check.
Yeah.
I think he messaged he's joining in 10 minutes.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that.
It's there, sorry.
Okay. Fair enough. Oh, okay. Got it. So anything comes up for you? Is this making sense?
It does, Ashish. The practice and the thought of be a better person today than you were yesterday, right? So
Absolutely.
your comparative, your benchmark is yourself,
Absolutely.
and you're looking at improving yourself because what somebody else is doing is not within your circle of control.
Correct. Beautiful. Thank you for saying that, Anjana. And let's do a brief recap and then we will draw the session to a close. So what we have discussed so far today is that ego is our identity, the labels that we put on ourselves and others. And those labels then determine our behavior and hence the trajectory of our life. So it is very important for us to identify those labels and change them to consciously create the life that we want for ourselves. Just we live our labels. We talked about that. These labels come in early, and that is possibly one of the reasons we are not so aware about them. Like one of the global CFOs I was speaking to, he once told me that his drawing and arts teacher told him that you're not good at drawing. Okay. And this gentleman actually wanted to become a doctor. But then he didn't take biology because that would have involved making a lot of diagrams, And he thought, मैं तो drawing में अच्छा नहीं हूँ, तो उन्होंने biology नहीं लिया, फिर commerce लिया, फिर CA बने और बहुत successful अपनी life में, global CFO. But see how that label of not being good in drawing determined his career trajectory. So are there any labels that we have on ourselves or we are putting on other people, our children? And the negative ones are sticky unless we can flip the script and create our life consciously. We talked about comparison. I think Anjana brought it out very beautifully that awareness is the first step. And we talked about how it impacts collaboration between departments, and we can choose to create a life beyond our labels. And one way to do it is expand our identity. Expand, from if I'm thinking that I'm a male, can I think that I'm a human being? If I'm thinking an I'm HR, can I think I'm a management professional? If I'm thinking I am Indian, can I think I'm a global citizen? If I'm thinking I'm human being, can I think that I'm a sentient being? Because then it includes all other animals also and all other living beings who are sentient. So having a bigger identity, helps us create that. Move forward in life. And this is something beautifully also brought out by Mr. Gopalakrishnan in one of his posts, what creates great organizations. And he says that the three practices that stand out, and the first one is so relevant in the context of what we're discussing: institutional thinking over individual glory. Don't think about your department, think about the company. Don't think about yourself, think about the family. And Brigadier Wither also speaks about it often. The credo, the Chatwood credo is: think about the welfare of your country first. Think about the welfare of your people next. Think about your own welfare and comfort last. So, bigger the identity, the more successful we are, the more we contribute. And I would like to close with this poem. And this is a very powerful one. And I'll request somebody to volunteer to read it for me. Any volunteers who can read the poem? I'll pull it out.
I can read it for you.
Okay. And while Anjana is reading, I'll request everybody to close your eyes and listen to what she is reading. Huh? Don't read, just listen to what she's reading. And Anjana, this comes up for you.
Just one.
Everybody else, just close your eyes and listen to what Anjana is reading out. It's a poem by Khalil Gibran.
Here, written by Khalil Gibran. It is said that before entering the sea, a river trembles with fear. She looks back at the path she has traveled, from the peaks of the mountains and the long winding road crossing forests and villages. And in front of her, she sees an ocean so vast that to enter there seems nothing that more than to disappear forever. But there's no other way. The river cannot go back. Nobody can go back. To go back is impossible in existence. The river needs to take the risk of entering the ocean because only then will fear disappear. Because that's where the river will know it's not about disappearing into the ocean, but of becoming the ocean.
Now I will request everybody to reflect on this. Keep your eyes closed and reflect on what was just shared by Khalil Gibran with you, read beautifully by Anjana. And what comes up for you? How are you feeling? What came up for you in the session today? What moved for you? What shifted for you? And then we will hear from you and then draw the session to a close. Is river losing its identity or is it becoming an ocean? Why are we holding on to so dearly to our limited identities? Why are we so desperately clutching to our limited identities? Can we choose to be more expansive? Can we choose to be larger than life? Can we choose to be a hero in our own eyes and to other people? What is the identity? What is it that you would like people to know you by? Giver, taker, contributor, sucker. What's the identity you choose? Continue to breathe and reflect on the identity you want to choose for yourself. Victor, victim, champion, successful, prosperous, powerful. Continue to breathe. Shortly, we will come to the end of this brief mindfulness practice. And I'd like to invite you to share what's the empowering identity you choose for yourself, and what is the limiting identity you choose to let go. Thank you. Whenever you're ready, you may gently open your eyes and switch on your camera. Share. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Ashish. Very powerful insight. Uh, Honestly, when I closed my eyes and I had this metaphor of river getting into an ocean, so on a career front, the challenges which I'm facing right now, I see a big opportunity coming on my way. Yeah,
Very
thanks.
nice. Very nice.
Yeah, and I see that I see as an victor as a champion mindset and continue to have from changing about 2 minutes of exercise, the limiting beliefs which I had about not being consistent, all those definitely I will start working on it very immediately.
Thank you, man.
Thank you so much.
Who would you like to call next, Manoj?
Shesha?
Yeah, thanks, Manoj. Yeah. So the insight is, though I had this session in the past as well. The limiting belief is it possible? Is the one limiting belief, and acting according to that is a limitation, which I think it's myself who's not able to come out of that shell, and I have to start practicing day in every day. I think in next few months I should be able to do this and come out of this shell and be a new person. And, the next one that I had was one comment that wanted to make. Sorry, actually two. So if we have a good mentor and also somebody who knows our potential, can lift us up. This is with respect to the video that we saw. Yeah. And the second one is, can you go back to one of the slides, Ashish, especially on the probably the second last or the third last, previous to this one more. Yeah. So comparison. So if we are trying to compare with somebody else, we can be only them. We can't go beyond them. But if you are comparing with somebody, then that's our goal. There is something which is beyond that. So as Anjana mentioned, if we start comparing ourselves with what we were yesterday, that's that opens a lot of doors and many opportunities.
Beautiful, beautiful, Sasha. Sasha, whom would you like to call next?
Yeah, Anjana.
Thanks, Sasha. I think what uh, brings me back with this poem is also something that uh, started off with something I heard from Swami Sukhbodhananda. This is about the Panchabhutas, or the five elements that make you the universe, right? When they come together, that's when an individual or a body is formed. Um, and each of them have their qualities. And if you look at water uh, and the qualities, water is something that constantly is moving. It's not something that's stagnant. You don't associate water with being stagnant. Even in a well, there is the spring, the water comes out in, and it finds its way. Like when you put it into a glass with anything, it finds its way into the nooks and crannies. So this is something that moves. It looks at a solution. It's very solution oriented. If it can't break down a rock, it flows around it. And the force of flow is always one directional. It's not reverse. And it's very it's got a very strong metaphor that once time is past, we can't go back and change it. We can look back and reflect on it, learn from it, but we can't change what happened yesterday or even a minute back. If I've said something, I can't change it. I could probably, explain myself to you if I feel bad or if you feel bad. So water is always forward thinking, forward moving. And yes, this, the journey that the river has from the time it's born till it reaches the ocean, it's its own journey. It has a very strong identity that I am, and it's not getting merged with something greater because that is the greatest in that space. But when it reaches the ocean, okay, suddenly it finds that there is this water body which is like 10 times larger than that because there are 10 other rivers already in there. And the fear is that I will lose my identity. Water is water in river, water is water in ocean. Both are waters. Both have the same, other than saltiness and sweetness, everything else is the same. But just because you're looking at something which is so much more bigger than you, there is a fear. What will happen to me?
will I cease to exist? Will somebody bigger eat me up? Right? The thought of coexistence doesn't come in until you, and being a river, like you're emptying yourself, right? You can't put your feet in and take it back because that's the way life is. So this plays to me every day because there is something that I said that uh, be grateful to the Panchabhutas. And when you look at every element, so you're talking about water, fire, space, air, and earth. All these elements have very strong characteristics and what they give to you. And all of them put together is what makes you a whole person or a life. So, I just remember the Panchabhutas every day.
Yeah.
And I hope I get their qualities and I can
Yeah.
live the qualities.
That's very beautiful and very powerful. And you mentioned about Swami Sukhbodhanandana. And this is something I learned from him and has been my practice, daily practice for many years now, which is to seek blessings of Panchbhuta.
Yeah.
And I do that while having my bath. So you put one mug of water and say, May Mother Earth bless me. May water bless me. May fire bless me. May air bless me. May space bless me. And it is magical. It is completely magical. Very simple, but very powerful. And Swami Sukhbodhanand says that you don't have to do anything. कोई गीता पढ़ने का जरूरत नहीं है, कुछ और करने का जरूरत नहीं है. तुमने इतना कर लिया ना, your life is set. And I have benefited a lot. And I urge everyone. We talk about this in the next program again, in the magical success rituals, because this is one of the rituals I have for myself every day. Thank
Air,
you.
water, air, water, space, fire, and
Earth, water, fire, air, space. May earth bless me. May water bless me. May fire bless me. So earth is, everything that we eat is provided by Mother Earth. That is what we are made up of. Our body is made up of that. Water is, like Anjana said, movement, fluidity, flexibility. Fire is warmth in relationships, the energy. Uh, then air also is energy, vayu, movement, and space is the space. That is what it is. Everything between you and me and everybody else. So you can space is everything.
There is just one more thing I want to say. This is something that I learned, and it's an ask that I do. So you ask for anything, like let's say the universal goodness to flow to you because you need it,
Mm,
and then flow through you.
mm,
So what it means is that, I mean, initially I just want to flow through me. Okay, fine, it'll flow to me and through me, it won't stop, it'll just go. I won't get it. But what it means is that you are able to give that or embody that or live those qualities to others.
One of the
You're able to impact somebody else
Yeah.
the same way.
Nitya Shanti says, may I be a channel of blessings for someone today.
Yeah, perfect. It's the same thing.
Yeah,
Because initially I thought, may I be a channel? I said, why? I want blessings. I don't want to be a channel for somebody else. But then the thing is, when you get blessed
Yeah.
with something, and then you start living that blessing, then you're
Yeah.
passing it on to another person. So
Yeah.
unless your cup is full, you will not be able to give.
Mm.
So you're asking for your cup to be always full.
Thank you, Anjana. And would you like to call on Rosina?
Yeah, Rosina. Rosina?
Rosina, I'm not sure if you're there, but please do share your takeaways by a voice note in our WhatsApp group. And we will now draw the session to a close. Thank you, everybody, for being with us on this journey. And we connect again next Sunday at 8:45 a.m. Thank you. Have a blessed
Thanks,
weekend.
Ashish.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashish.
you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Yeah,
everyone.
thanks, everyone.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.